What's up, everybody? It's Roger, Working Man Cigars. And tonight, this one's going to be a good one. Well, I hope, right? I've never smoked it before. But this is a very special cigar. Like, to me, this is such a cool freaking cigar. And I know there's certain people who collect cigars and they won't smoke them. Like, they just want to have them. And I never thought I was like that. But so many times that I looked at the cigar that I did not want to waste it, that I wanted to smoke it during the right time. And when is the right time, right? Is it the right time during when you're with family or a special event or a holiday or to celebrate something? It's hard to say, especially when you're trying a cigar. But this cigar is special to me just because it's the only one I have. I never see these cigars around anywhere. And this cigar was one of the first bombs that I got from Hound Dog, which has become like a really, really close friend of mine. And this was in one of the first bombs that he sent me, which was a killer bomb. Like, Hound Dog sent me a bunch of stuff that I always wanted to try that I don't even see out in the wild. So to me, this was a very special cigar. So like, I always put off smoking it. Like, no, it's not right. No, not this time. And finally, I was like, okay, I'm going to smoke it and I'm going to do an overview just so I sometimes feel that not the times that I enjoy the cigar the most, but the time that I get the most out of a cigar as far as like being able to pick up notes and kind of get a true representation of a cigar is when I'm shooting a video. Because I'm forced to focus on the cigar, not talking to anybody else, not getting distracted by anything. And I feel like normally that's when I really get to taste just a cigar. It doesn't mean it's going to be the best time to smoke a cigar. Look at this thing. This thing's so freaking cool. It's such a dope cigar. The Andalusian Bull already is hard to find, but this is the Andalusian Bull, the Jack Schwartz. And I know they say it's just the same blend. It's exactly the same, just different size. But something about this size, this cigar, just the way it looks, even with the footband, it just, I don't know, something really, really cool about the cigar. So I do love the regular Andalusian Bull. For the longest time, that was like a Grell cigar that I could not find it. Looked for it, could not find it. Until I got friends like in the Cigars Unbanded Discord group. And this cigar here, I've never even seen it in the wild, to be honest. So again, when Matt sent it to me, I was like, damn, man, it's so crazy. Now, the regular Andalusian Bull, I love that cigar. I think it's a great cigar. It's not my favorite when they're fresh, right? Because I've gotten a few of them super fresh. Well, like as soon as they were for sale. I actually had a friend gift me a box. And I remember I smoked one like a week after I got it from him. And they're not as good. Like, a lot of people have smoked bulls and thought, like, what's the big deal? I've heard that a lot. Like, guys are like, what's the big deal about the bull? It's all the hype. But really, this cigar, the regular bull anyways, when you let that one sit, for most people, not everybody, some people just say it doesn't make a difference, but for most people, if you let those sit for a few years, they end up tasting a lot different. Now, if you're familiar with Cigars Unbanded, we just smoked in a group, and a bunch of the viewers, we all smoked the Golden Bull, the Andalusian Bull, the Golden Bull, the little one, and the NFT one. And that cigar was really freaking good. I had heard from so many people that it was very underwhelming. And almost 2 years ago, when they came up for sale, again, they were at Jack Schwartz. Jack Schwartz sells stuff at MSRP all the time. It's hard to get stuff if you don't jump on it quick, but they're one of the few shops that doesn't mark things up, that doesn't go crazy with pricing, and they sell stuff at MSRP. So the bulls there were regular price, not like the $200 price that some people were selling them for. But some people had smoked that cigar and didn't like it. Peter, the cigar collector, smoked it and said, this cigar it's not that great. But we all smoked it recently on that. If you want to check out that live stream, check it out on Cigars Unbanded. And it was such a difference as well. Like, most of us really, really enjoyed that cigar. Though, at least the ones that a few of us were smoking had like 2 years of age. And that, I don't know if that made a difference. I don't know if that's why they were good when some people didn't like them at first. But they ended up being really, really good. Okay, so I was about to say that I'm getting very nice nuttiness, like some breadiness from this cigar, which is interesting. I usually don't get those two notes being so prominent together. Like, if to me it doesn't make sense how you're getting breadiness and like a nuttiness, but that's what I'm getting. And I was about to say the only thing I'm not really getting is much of a sweetness from this cigar. But right now, after that last retro, on my palate, I had like a ton of sweetness, just like a jolt of sweetness. It was really good. Yeah, there's like this. So I after I take a draw and I do a retro, it's like, okay, normally you could taste something on your palate at that point, but then afterwards, then I get like an instant, like this very, very like fruity sweetness. It's freaking weird. And maybe it's not sweetness, maybe it's just like a fruity kind of taste. I don't think you're supposed to get that from this cigar, like a fruity note, but I mean, I'm getting that. Another thing that's interesting is I never really used to be able to pick up coffee or chocolate from cigars. It was difficult for me to actually like get a coffee note or chocolate from a cigar, but I am getting like a very light kind of roasty espresso. And I don't want to say coffee because it's not coffee. It's like an espresso, but without the darkness of an espresso. I don't know if that makes any sense, but man, so far this is a really, really good cigar. I remember thinking I'm not gonna shoot an overview for this cigar because I don't think people can really buy them, right? They're not out there. They're not. I don't know if Jack Schwartz only did a one-time thing, like a limited release for just one release, or if they were ever gonna bring it out again. What's the point of putting out an overview if it's a cigar people can't even get? But because I wanted to get the full kind of honest experience with the cigar, I decided to shoot the video. I don't know if they're still out there, right? If these cigars are still out there, like and available, it's probably just collectors that have them, and you know they're not selling their stuff. It'd probably be hard to get this cigar. I'm trying to remember if the guys that I know that have smoked this cigar like this one or the regular Bull more. But I still think that most people end up liking the standard Bull a little bit more than this one. I think. I'm having trouble remembering, but I kind of feel like most people like the standard Bull a little bit more. And that's the thing about certain cigars, right? Cigars are meant to be smoked, they're meant to be enjoyed, but also there's a lot of people out there who, if let's say you found somebody that's selling one, they're like, hey, I'm parting with one, you've never had it, you want to try it. Not just this cigar, any cigar that's very difficult to get, right? Let's say you have the chance to get one, so you jump on it, and now you have to decide whether you're going to smoke it or not. And as easy as maybe somebody says, well, of course I'm going to smoke it, that's why I bought it. But once you have it and you're looking at it, it's like, damn, do I really want to smoke through this thing? Because then I won't have it. But if you don't smoke it, you're never going to know what it's like. So I don't know, man. Like, I have 2 Etafals left, and as much as I love that cigar, and I do worry about it like aging out, which I don't know if that can happen, but my stuff fluctuates from too dry to too wet to too dry. I'm always worried that my cigars are going to get too dried out. As much as I love that cigar, because I have 2, I'm not in a hurry to kind of smoke them, right? Because I like seeing them in my humidor. Something about just knowing that I have them there. In case I ever wanted to smoke it, then I can just reach for it. Okay, so right now in that last retro, I got a tiny bit of pepper. Not a tiny bit. I got a good strong amount of pepper. And it caught me off guard because I haven't been getting any pepper on this cigar up to this point. It wasn't bad, but it was like like a ton of pepper that just hit me right in my sinuses when I retroed it. Man, there's a very, very, that breadiness is so freaking good. The breadiness is taking over now. Like that breadiness with that little bit, the fruity note that I was getting that was very, very prominent, has like kind of toned back a little bit. It's still there, but it's not so in your face like it was earlier. Which sucks because I was really liking that. This is a really, really good cigar. I'm barely getting into the first third, but so far it's really enjoyable. It's crazy what the size of a cigar, how changing the size affects the way it tastes, the way it smokes. And when I barely started smoking, you don't realize that, right? You watch a review of somebody smoking a Toro, and you can't find a Toro, but you find a Robusto, and you're like, oh, cool, same thing, same cigar. It's like, it's not the same cigar. It's going to be different. It's going to taste different. It's going to smoke different. Everything changes about that cigar once the size changes. I'm really curious to see if anybody that has these, that has been smoking them since they came out, now that they've had a few years of age, I'm very curious to see how how different it is for them, or if it's always tasted this way. Because so far, just that light up, I'm enjoying it a little bit more than like the regular bowl. The best bowl I ever had was one that Peter's Cigar Collective sent me that had 4 years of age. And that bowl was so freaking good. It was a great, great cigar. And so far this one so far this one's tasting a bit better than that one. All right, guys. I've been talking for a bit already. Okay. I'll check back in once I'm farther in the cigar, because if not, this video is going to be way too long. All right, so checking back into the cigar here, into the second third. Man, this is a great cigar. This has been a very, very enjoyable cigar. A little bit past into when I was getting into the second third, I was starting to think like it's a bit linear. God damn it. I almost said nuanced and linear mixed together. It's like Johnny. But then it did start shifting on me a little bit. Started getting a little bit more complex. I don't know, this size, for some reason, the beginning it started like a very, very light cigar. And to me, this cigar tastes like a bit of a darker, like a little bit of a bolder cigar than the regular bull. And not bolder as in strength, because the regular bull, sometimes, even before I'm done with it, I get a little bit nauseous, like a little bit, especially depending on the weather. I might get a little bit queasy from that cigar, like the nicotine's getting to me. This one, it's not that. It's just the flavor shifted to a lot darker. I'm still getting that breadiness, but it's like a roasted type of breadiness. And that espresso note that I got earlier is now like the most prominent thing. The fruity sweetness has gone away, but there's a different type of sweetness, like a molasses type of dark sweetness. I don't know. Up until the second third, into the second third, it was all the same from the beginning. And then it barely recently started kind of changing on me. And I'm also actually now getting a little bit of a floral note, which some people hate floral notes. This isn't like kick you in the mouth floral, but there is some floral components to it. And I like floral notes. Some people don't like them. I think they're good. It is a weird mix in this cigar. Like, it does throw me off, because it's like that molasses kind of dark espresso and then a bit of floral. And it's like, this doesn't seem like it should be in this, but it's still a great cigar though. This cigar is so freaking good. When I do the very slow retro, where I just let the smoke kind of naturally come out through my nose, I get like the very, very prominent tasting notes, and it's really good. And then towards the end, I get that touch of floral. And it just tastes weird, but I'm so glad that Matt sent this to me, because like I said, I don't think I'd ever get to smoke this otherwise. And I love that guy, man. He sent me so many good cigars. Ever since I started smoking cigars, we just did Cigars Unbanded 100th episode. So we've been doing that show for 100 episodes, 100 weeks, because it's one a week. And it's crazy to see how it's gone from what we were doing in the beginning to how it is now. And we were doing giveaways. And we all everybody in the panel put a 5-pack in. And then the cigar shops that work with us, they all sent in for stuff for the giveaway. Jack Schwartz included. They sent in some great stuff for the raffle. Small Batch had some killer stuff. Mr. Bun, everybody that helped us out with that, it was amazing. And besides just like the shops and stuff that sent stuff in, a lot of just people in the community, a lot of guys that are just in the Discord, that are part of the group, they send in killer stuff, man. Like stuff worth over $200, $300, $400. It's crazy, man. And that's why the cigar community is so cool, right? Because cigars are expensive, especially when you're barely starting to smoke. When you're looking at a $20 cigar, it's like, damn, that's $20 that I'm gonna spend in an hour of enjoyment. Then when you get up to $40 cigars, $50 cigars for like special occasions, that's $50 it's going in, an hour and 30 minutes. So it gets up there, it gets crazy. And you have to think carefully about wanting to spend that much on a cigar. But then some of the guys in the Discord, in the packs that they sent for the raffle to give away, right? They spent this money on the cigars, not for their own enjoyment, but to send it to guys. there was so many 50, 60, 75, $100 cigars that guys were just giving away in multiples. You know, it's crazy. My wife used to always make fun of me. She used to say, like, why are you always talking about the cigar community? It's like, because they're great people. Like, a lot of them are really, really cool. There's people who just like smoking, enjoy themselves, like to relax, and that's cool, right? Because that's what I did for a long time. But then when you see how there's some cigar communities out there, and guys share and guys tell you where to get good stuff, where they find cigars that are hard to find, or where guys are willing to share a lot of their stuff, and then you end up becoming like that too. And that's what's cool, man. That ends up being, it's such a cool part about it. And that's why you always hear a lot of us talking about the Discord, and we tell people join the Discord. Even if it's not the Cigars Unbanded group, if there's a cool group out there, join a group, meet some guys, get some recommendations, share some stuff. You know, like there's a lot of things about it. Of course, I want to say Cigars Unbanded group is the best group. So that's the group that we're in. And I truthfully believe that it's the best group. But find your group, you know, find people to kind of share and talk about this stuff. And it makes it a little bit more fun. The collecting part, the sharing part, the finding out where good deals are popping up. All that stuff comes when you're in a group. Yeah, this has shifted definitely into like a more darker, bolder cigar for me. And I'm really enjoying it. And that even that touch of floral. Even though I feel like it's a little bit out of place here, it's still really enjoyable. I didn't think this cigar was going to taste that much different than a regular bull, but it is giving me a pretty big difference from a standard bull. Even that little NFT bull, that golden bull, if you can find it at MSRP, keep an eye on like Jack Schwartz, because sometimes they pop up there. I would pick a few up, one to try and then one to sit on for at least. Mine was like about 2 years old, so that's what I would recommend, just to make sure I know in 2 years that cigar is going to be good. But even though it's a very small cigar, it's a very thin, small cigar, it's smoked for such a long time, because we smoked that thing for over an hour. We smoked it for a long time. So it didn't burn very quickly. I think we said in the live stream that it burned kind of fast, but we all smoked it for a while. It lasted quite a bit for being such a small cigar. All right, guys, I'm going to check back in here in a bit. Once I get into I'm pretty much in the final third, but I'll check back in one more time in a bit. All right, so finishing up this Jack Schwartz Bull. What a great cigar, man. This was such a freaking great cigar. I don't have anything else to add after that. I mean, it did take a little bit of a dip, as most cigars do once you get towards the end. And I think I did chuck away at this thing a little bit too quickly. But it's not like a noticeable dip, and it's not, you know, like it took a shit. I'm definitely going to nub this thing all the way down, especially a cigar like this, right? That's pretty much it, guys. Don't forget to check out Cigars Unbanded every Thursday, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time. Get your Cigars Unbanded packs from Small Batch. Every time they keep adding more and more. They can't add a ton of packs because acquiring enough cigars for those packs now, I'm sure it's getting pretty difficult. But it's well over 100 packs, and every time we'll get DMs where guys are saying like, oh, where can I get the packs? Say Small Batch. Sign up for the notifications, because I send guys to Small Batch and they go check it out and they're gone within a day or two once they post them. So they have been selling out pretty quickly, and for good reason. The packs are cool, man. Like there's something about, if you like watching live streams, if you like following along, and there's nothing like smoking a cigar and then watching people smoke it live, and you're getting to kind of experience it together. It's just, I don't know, there's something about it. It's freaking cool. So definitely give it a try. Sign up for the notifications so you know when the cigars are popping up for sale on Small Batch, and that way you could pick up a pack, try it out, see what you think. I'm pretty sure if you try it out, you're gonna stay subscribed to it, because it's fun. You know, check it out. All right, guys, that's pretty much it. See you guys on the next one.